My wife's changed. And not in a good way. Part 1. Hey Reddit. I don't even know how to start this. I'm 34, my wife is 32. We've been married for 7 years. We don't have kids, by choice, at least that's what I thought. We always said we wanted to enjoy our lives first, travel, build careers. It felt like we were a team. Until a few months ago. Something shifted around March. It wasn't one big event, it was a bunch of little things. You know how someone's scent can feel familiar? One night in bed, she smelled like a man's cologne. Just a faint trace. I asked her about it and she laughed it off, said she sprayed a tester in a store earlier that day. It felt off, but I let it slide. Then came the phone. It was always face down. Always locked. She changed her passcode, said it was just in case because she started getting spam. She took longer showers, got more secretive, and started working late, a lot. And when I asked her about it, she got defensive. Angry even. Like I was doing something wrong by asking questions. Last week, she left her Apple Watch on the kitchen counter while in the shower. I don't usually snoop, I swear I don't, but something in me snapped. I tapped into her messages. Most were clean. Then I saw one from a guy named Mick, work. I still feel your nails on my back. Last night was insane. My heart literally stopped. It was like I left my body for a second. I haven't confronted her yet. I needed to be sure I wasn't overreacting. But my gut's been screaming at me for weeks, and now, I have proof. Next part, I'll explain what happened when I finally confronted her. I finally confronted her. And she flipped it on me. Part 2. So, after seeing that message on her Apple Watch, I felt sick. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay next to her in bed while she scrolled through Instagram like nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, I was holding back the urge to scream. The next morning, I waited until we were both in the kitchen. I kept it calm, at first. I said, "Hey, who's Mick from work?" She froze for half a second, just long enough to confirm what I already knew. Then she laughed. "He's just someone from marketing. We were working late on that new client pitch." "Why?" I stared at her. "I read the message on your Apple Watch. The one about your nails on his back." Her face changed completely. She didn't go pale or tear up. She smirked. "Wow. So now you're spying on me?" I was stunned. "You're deflecting. Are you sleeping with him?" That's when she turned on the full manipulation mode. She raised her voice. "Maybe if you paid more attention to me, I wouldn't need to text someone who actually makes me feel something. You've been emotionally distant for months." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was being blamed for her cheating. I asked her directly again, "Just answer me. Are you cheating on me?" She rolled her eyes. "It was just one time. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk. I thought we were in a rut." "One time?" Well, that message didn't sound like a one-time thing. I asked how long it had been going on. She stormed out of the room instead of answering. That silence told me everything I needed to know. In part 3, I'll tell you what I did after she walked out. I followed her. And what I saw broke me. Part 3. After she stormed out, she didn't come back that night. I didn't text her. I didn't call. I just sat there at the kitchen table, staring at nothing. My mind was spinning. Every moment of the past few months started to make sense, and it all pointed to something way deeper than a drunken one-time mistake. The next morning, she came home like nothing happened. No apology. No explanation. Just grabbed a change of clothes and said she needed space. I asked her if she was going to see him, and she just said, "You don't trust me anyway. So what does it matter?" That confirmed it. So I did something I never thought I'd do, I followed her. She drove across town to a hotel. Not a fancy one, just your average chain place with free breakfast and zero character. She parked, got out, and sure enough, a guy came out of the lobby to meet her. Tall, tan, gym body. He grabbed her like they were in a freaking romance movie. She kissed him. Full on. No hesitation. They went inside together. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, completely frozen. I felt like the biggest fool on earth. 7 years. 7 years of love, loyalty, shared dreams, all tossed out for some dude named Mick who probably couldn't even name her favorite song. I didn't go in. I didn't make a scene. I went home. And I cried. I actually cried. I hadn't cried like that since my dad died. In part 4, I'll tell you what happened when she came back later. And how the lies kept piling up. She looked me in the eyes and lied again. Part 4. She came home around 10 p.m. that same night. Hair messy. Lip gloss gone. Wearing the same clothes from that morning. I was sitting in the living room when she walked in, acting casual, like she hadn't just spent the day wrapped around another man. "Hey," she said. "I think I'm gonna stay at my sister's for a while." I didn't even respond. I just stared at her. I must have looked dead inside. She paused. "What?" I asked. "How was the hotel?" Her smile faltered. "What hotel?" I stood up. "I followed you, Lisa. I saw everything. I saw him. You kissed him like you've done it 1,000 times. Don't insult me by pretending you went to your sister's." That's when she snapped. "Are you serious right now? You're stalking me now? What the hell is wrong with you?" She turned it around again. Like I was the villain for catching her. I kept my voice calm. "So you lied. Again. After saying it was just one time. You're still seeing him." She hesitated. For the first time, her voice cracked a little. "I didn't plan for this to happen. It just did. I didn't mean to fall for him. I thought you didn't love me anymore." That hit hard. But it wasn't true. I did love her. I still did. That's what made it all so much worse. She packed a bag and left that night. No hug. No tears. Nothing. Just slammed the door and drove off. And there I was, standing in our quiet, half-dark home, wondering how the hell everything collapsed so fast. In Part 5, I'll tell you what I found in her laptop after she left, and how deep the lies really went. Her laptop uncovered everything she tried to hide. Part 5. After she left, I just stood in our hallway for what felt like an hour. The silence in the house was deafening. Every corner of the place felt unfamiliar now, like a crime scene I'd been living in without knowing it. I went into her bedroom. Her scent still lingered on the pillow. I sat down and noticed her laptop on the nightstand. She rarely used it, always on her phone. But I figured, if she was careless enough to leave it behind, maybe she left something else too. I opened it. No password. I don't know if that was luck, or if deep down, she wanted me to find out everything. The first thing I checked was her email. Nothing obvious. But then I dug into her archived folder. That's when it started. Emails from Mick. Dozens. Dating back over 6 months. They weren't just flirty. They were detailed, intimate, disgusting. They talked about weekends they'd spent together. One email said, "I wish I could wake up next to you every morning instead of him." Another one had a receipt for a hotel booking in another city. On a weekend she told me she was visiting her mom. Then I checked the file folder on her desktop. There was a hidden folder titled Private. Inside were pictures. Them. Together. In bed. At bars. On a boat. I literally saw a selfie of her kissing him on the cheek with the caption, "Mine." That destroyed me. All the while she was coming home, telling me I was paranoid, blaming me for being distant. She was playing house with another man. And I was the fool making dinner, planning weekend getaways, thinking we were just in a rough patch. In Part 6, I'll tell you how I confronted him. Yeah. I tracked Mick down. I met the guy she cheated with. And he had no clue. Part 6. After going through those emails and pictures, I didn't sleep at all. I kept replaying their conversations in my head, how she told him things she hadn't said to me in years. How she smiled in those photos in a way I hadn't seen in forever. And then it hit me, I needed to see this guy face to face. I needed to look him in the eye and understand why. Through one of the email threads, I found where he worked. It was actually at the same company as her, just a different department. That explained the late-night projects. I drove to his office building the next day, waited in my car until I saw a tall guy walk out around noon, coffee in hand, Bluetooth in ear, smug little bounce in his step. I recognized him from the photos. I walked up to him. Calm. Controlled. "Hey. Mick, right?" He looked confused. "Yeah? I'm Lisa's husband." He froze. Mouth slightly open. Then he pulled his Bluetooth out. "Wait. What?" I told him flat out, "I know about the affair. I saw the emails. The pictures. All of it." He looked like he'd seen a ghost. Then he said the one thing I didn't expect. "I thought you guys were separated. She told me you were just living together for financial reasons." That stopped me cold. "She said what?" "She said you weren't together anymore. That you slept in separate rooms. That you both agreed to see other people." I stared at him. I wanted to hit him. But I realized, he was a pawn in all this too. A liar believes their own lies, and Lisa? She was a master at it. I left without saying another word. In part 7, I'll tell you what happened when I texted her, "We need to talk now." She tried one last lie. But I was already done. Part 7. After talking to Mick, I was numb. Not because of what he said, but because of how believable she had made the lie. She'd built an entire alternate reality. Told him we were separated. Living together for financial reasons. That I knew about him. It was disgusting. I texted her right after. "We need to talk now." She didn't respond for hours. Then finally. "I'm not in the mood for drama. Can we talk tomorrow?" Tomorrow? She had shattered our marriage, lied to 2 people, and she wanted to schedule a conversation like it was a dentist appointment. I replied, "No. Tonight. Or I start sending those screenshots to your family." She showed up an hour later. She walked in with a defensive posture, arms crossed, jaw tight. "So, what do you want to yell about now?" I didn't yell. I said, "I spoke to Mick." That made her blank. "You what?" "He thought we were separated. That we weren't together. He thought I was okay with this." "You lied to him, too." That's when she broke character, just for a second. Her face went pale. Like she'd been caught cheating on 2 husbands. She tried to twist it. "I didn't want to hurt him. He's been through a lot too." I didn't know how to explain it. "You didn't want to hurt him?" I cut her off. "What about me, Lisa? The man who shared his life with you for 7 damn years?" Silence. She stood there with nothing to say. No more stories. No fake tears. Just empty silence. That's when I realized, there was nothing left to fight for. In part 8, I'll tell you how I started planning my exit. And how she didn't see it coming. I started planning my exit. And she had no idea. Part 8. After that night, I knew I was done. No more begging, no more trying to make sense of the madness. Lisa was gone long before I ever opened her laptop, emotionally, physically, all of it. What remained was just the shell of a marriage, and I wasn't about to keep living in it. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. Made coffee. Scrolled through her phone. Hummed while brushing her hair. Like she wasn't cheating. Like she hadn't destroyed everything. I decided right then, I'd leave, but not in a way she'd expect. I didn't want some messy screaming match. I didn't want her dragging her feet on divorce or pretending to fix things just to buy time. I wanted out, clean and final. So I started collecting everything. I made copies of the emails, screenshots of texts, and saved photos from her laptop onto a USB drive. I took photos of the receipts, even her hotel bookings. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I knew she'd try to twist the story if things got legal. I contacted a lawyer. Told him everything. Turns out, her cheating could matter in our state, it might affect how assets are divided. I wasn't trying to bleed her dry. I just didn't want her walking away clean after tearing me apart. I also started looking for a new apartment. Quietly. I told her I was taking time to think and sleeping on the couch, but really, I was getting ready to walk away from this mess. She had no clue. In part 9, I'll tell you what happened when she finally realized I was leaving, and the meltdown that followed. She found out I was leaving. And completely lost it. Part 9. It had been about 2 weeks since I started planning my exit. I'd signed the lease for a 1-bedroom apartment across town, paid the deposit, even arranged for movers. I kept everything under wraps. No sudden changes in behavior, no weird conversations. I just played it cool. Lisa barely noticed. She was still disappearing for girl nights and late work. I didn't bother confronting her anymore. There was no point. I was already out emotionally, I just hadn't left physically yet. Then one morning, she found the apartment lease. I'd stupidly left the paperwork folded in my backpack. She must have gone snooping. I came home from work and found her sitting on the couch, holding it like a loaded gun. "What is this?" she asked, voice cold. I shrugged. "It's where I'm going. We're done, Lisa." She stood up. "So you're just going to leave? Just like that? Without even trying to fix things?" I laughed, actually laughed. "You cheated on me. Repeatedly. Lied to me, humiliated me, dragged me through months of gaslighting. What's left to fix?" That's when the meltdown started. She screamed. Threw the lease across the room. accused me of abandoning her. Said I was punishing her for making a mistake. Then she tried switching tactics, crying, begging, telling me it didn't mean anything and that we could go to counseling. But it was all hollow. Just noise. I'd seen the real her, and no apology could unsee what I'd seen. She even threatened to hurt herself at one point. That shook me. I told her I'd call someone to help her, but I wasn't staying. She tried every manipulative card in the deck. None of them worked. In part 10, I'll tell you about the day I finally walked out, and the unexpected message I got just hours later. The day I left. And the message that changed everything, part 10 moving day. I woke up early that morning. The house was eerily quiet. Lisa had stayed at her friend's place the night before, probably because she couldn't handle watching me pack. Or maybe she still thought I was bluffing. The movers arrived at 9 a.m. I kept it simple: clothes, laptop, personal stuff, some books, a few kitchen items. I didn't want anything from us, nothing that reminded me of anniversaries, trips, or those fake little happy moments she tainted. By noon, I was out. I left a letter on the kitchen table. Not dramatic, just the truth. A simple note. This isn't revenge. This is survival. I deserved honesty. You gave me betrayal. We're done. That was it. I drove to my new place, unloaded what I had, and just sat on the floor for a while. It was quiet, unfamiliar, but peaceful. No tension in the air. No walking on eggshells. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Then around 6 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. You don't know me, but I think we need to talk. I'm Mick's girlfriend. Or, I was. My stomach dropped. I texted back cautiously. I'm Lisa's husband. Actually. She responded fast. I found everything. The emails. The hotel receipts. They've been lying to both of us. Turns out, Mick wasn't single. He had a live-in girlfriend for over 3 years. Lisa knew. She just didn't care. That was the moment it all crystallized, how deep the lies really went. 2 homes wrecked. 2 lives played with like they were toys. In part 11, I'll tell you what Mick's girlfriend told me next. And how it changed how I saw everything. Mick's girlfriend told me everything. And I mean everything. Part 11. After the initial shock wore off, I called her. Her name was Tessa. She sounded tired. Worn down. Like she'd cried for hours before picking up the phone. I knew the tone well, I'd lived in it for weeks. We spoke for nearly 2 hours. She started with this: I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I found his second phone. Yeah. Second phone. Turns out Mick had been running a double life. His work trips weren't always for work. He used a separate number for Lisa. Separate hotel bookings. Different email address. A whole second world. Tessa said she found the phone while cleaning his car. It was wedged under the passenger seat, dead. She charged it. And what she found mirrored my nightmare: texts, pictures, voice notes, even saved hotel Wi-Fi passwords. Lisa wasn't his only affair. He had 2 others. 2. But Lisa? She was the main one, as Tessa put it. The one he said he was going to leave her for. Then she said something that hit me like a punch in the ribs. He told me your wife was desperate. That she chased him. That he tried to end it, but she wouldn't stop. It hurt, not because I believed it, but because I could see how he said it. How Lisa probably laughed it off and kept texting him. How 2 people, equally selfish, fed off each other. Tess asked me if I wanted to confront them together. Blow it up, she said. I thought about it. But I told her, I already walked away from the fire. I'm not going back just to watch it burn slower. In part 12, I'll tell you how Lisa reacted when she found out I'd spoken to Tessa, and the ugly truth that finally came out. She found out I spoke to Tessa. And finally dropped the mask. Part 12. I don't know how Lisa found out I talked to Tessa. Maybe Mick told her. Maybe she guessed. But the next day, I got a knock on my apartment door. It was her. No warning. No text. Just Lisa, standing there with tears in her eyes and a folder in her hand. You talked to her, didn't you? She asked. I didn't lie. Yeah. I did. She deserved to know, just like I did. Lisa didn't yell this time. No gaslighting. No manipulation. She just walked in and sat on the edge of my couch like a stranger. Then she said something I never expected. I don't even know why I did it. I waited. Silence. I think I wanted to feel wanted again, she said. You stopped looking at me the same way. We got comfortable. Boring. And when Mick started flirting with me, I felt alive. Like I mattered again. It was the most honest thing she'd said in months. And still, it didn't make it better. It didn't fix a damn thing. So you cheated because I made you comfortable? I asked. Because I loved you consistently instead of chasing you like it was a game? She didn't answer. I looked at the folder she brought. What's that? Divorce papers, she whispered. I signed everything. You keep the house. I'll move out. I won't fight you on anything. It felt weird. After everything, she was giving up, cleanly, finally. No drama. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. But then I remembered the nights I sat alone, wondering why she didn't want me anymore, while she was in hotel beds, texting another man. In part 13, I'll share the last message I ever sent her, and how I finally started to rebuild my life. The last message I sent her. And the first day of peace, part 13. After she left my apartment that day, divorce papers signed and silence trailing behind her, I sat with that folder in my lap for what felt like forever. 7 years. Reduced to signatures and legal lines. I didn't cry. Not this time. Maybe because the sadness had already burned out and left only ash. Or maybe because some part of me had already mourned her before she ever walked out the door. That night, I sent her one last message. I hope someday you realize what you threw away. I hope the next person you love, you treat with the honesty you denied me. Don't reach out again. I need to heal. I need peace. Goodbye, Lisa. She read it within seconds. No reply. And that was the end. I filed the divorce the next morning. Quietly. No announcement. No drama. Then I turned off my phone and went for a walk. No destination, no plan. I walked past cafes we used to go to, down streets that used to feel like ours. But this time, they didn't hurt. They were just streets again. In the following weeks, I started putting myself back together. I joined a gym. Not to look better, just to feel stronger. I started reading again. I reconnected with old friends I'd slowly drifted from over the years. And I slept, actually slept, for the first time in months without waking up in a cold sweat. One day, while boxing up the last of our wedding photos, I realized something. I wasn't healing from losing her. I was healing from betraying myself by staying too long. In part 14, I'll tell you what happened when she reached out months later. And why I didn't answer. Months later. She reached out again. Part 14. It had been about 3 months since I finalized the divorce. I was doing better, truly. My new place had started to feel like home. I wasn't waking up thinking about her anymore. The air felt lighter. Cleaner. I could finally look in the mirror without seeing a broken version of myself. Then one evening, out of nowhere, I got a message from an unknown number. It was her. Hey. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I've been in therapy. I've learned a lot. I wish I could undo the pain I caused you. I stared at the screen for a long time. I wasn't angry, just tired. Tired of the same cycle. The same empty words. She kept going. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I never stopped loving you, even when I didn't act like it. I'll be honest. A small part of me, the part that still remembered our late-night talks, the way she'd laugh at stupid movies, the way she used to reach for my hand while falling asleep, that part wanted to respond. Wanted to believe her. But the rest of me remembered the lies. The manipulation. The look on her face when she blamed me for her cheating. So I didn't reply. I blocked the number. Deleted the thread. It wasn't out of spite. It was mercy. Mercy for me. In part 15, the final part, I'll share what I've learned from all of this, and what I'd tell anyone going through something similar. What I learned from losing everything, part 15, final. It's been nearly a year since everything came crashing down. The lies. The betrayal. The gaslighting. The quiet unraveling of a life I thought I had control over. At the time, it felt like the end of everything. But now, looking back, it was the beginning of something better. I won't sugarcoat it. Getting cheated on by the person you love most wrecks you. It makes you question your worth. Your instincts. Your sanity. I remember lying awake at night, wondering if I'd missed the signs, or if maybe I was the problem all along. But here's what I've learned. When someone betrays you, it's not because you lacked something. It's because they did. Courage, honesty, respect. Lisa didn't cheat because I stopped loving her. She cheated because she stopped loving herself in a healthy way. She needed validation from chaos. I just got caught in the crossfire. Now, I've rebuilt my life. Slowly. Quietly. On my terms. I trust myself again. I've stopped apologizing for expecting loyalty. I've stopped shrinking myself to keep someone else comfortable. And I've learned that peace is better than fake love every single time. So to anyone reading this who's in the thick of it, wondering whether you're crazy or paranoid or just not enough, you're not. If your gut's screaming, listen. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And when you finally walk away, don't look back. If this story hit you hard or helped you see things more clearly, subscribe to the channel. More real, raw stories are coming, and you don't want to miss them. Your support means everything.